Adrian Martinez has transferred to Kansas State, and this is a pretty significant move for both Nebraska and Kansas State in this situation. Obviously, you got a quarterback here in Martinez who has played consistently for 4 seasons with the Cornhuskers. He's been in college football since 2018 now, and as he goes into his 5th season of college football, this time with Kansas State, will he lead the Wildcats to an excellent season in 2022? That's what we'll be going over here today. So Adrian Martinez is obviously a quarterback that never reached his full potential in Nebraska, and that's really what I feel in the end of the day. I mean, he never got Nebraska to a bowl game over the time of his career, which is pretty unthinkable considering, I mean, the amount of talent that Adrian Martinez has. Obviously a 4-star at high school, showed tremendous potential, and he's definitely a dual-threat quarterback. And this is a guy that back in 2018, he had, I would say that was arguably his best season to date. He put up 2,600 yards and 17 touchdowns, 8 picks, 65% completion rate. I mean, and he also rushed for over 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. So, I mean, that was an excellent season for him, and it really looked like his future was very bright with Nebraska. I mean, there was dark horse Heisman talk about Adrian Martinez going into 2019. So, I mean, obviously he's dealt with some injuries down the stretch, and that's been kind of unfortunate for him. But for Kansas State here, now you got a quarterback that obviously has got some major experience in college football. It's a lot different than Skylar Thompson. I mean, this guy is a big-time rusher, and I mean, in 2021, it was a good season for him. He was the primary starter for sure last season, and I mean, if you look back at 2020 or even a bit in 2019, I mean, Adrian really didn't play the entire season because of Luke McCaffrey, who, in particular in 2020, I mean, McCaffrey and Adrian Martinez split time the entire season, so we really didn't see too incredibly much of Martinez in 2020, although his completion rate was over 70%, which is a really good number in 2020, even though, I mean, his decision-making was just poor in 2020 for sure. I mean, 2021, it was actually a good season, I would say, for him. I mean, Martinez, he's a guy that definitely, I think, he had a good season in 2021 for sure. I mean, he led this team to some impressive performances for sure, but the big problem with Adrian Martinez that I see is that he just, when he gets into a high-pressure situation where he has to perform and get a win for the Cornhuskers, it just did not happen. And that's when Nebraska was 3-9 last season, which was incredible, seeing this team in Nebraska that I thought had some tremendous talent go 3-9. So, I mean, Adrian Martinez, I feel like he's a promising quarterback. He's got tremendous talent for sure, but it's just a matter of, I mean, in those high pressure situations, you gotta convert those big plays, and you can't be having costly turnovers. So for Adrian Martinez, though, I mean, if you look at Kansas State here, I mean, this K-State team has got some tremendous potential. I think the ceiling is pretty high for K-State going into next season, and I mean, Adrian Martinez getting a new start could be exactly what he needs. And we've seen his potential. I mean, back in 2018, that was his best season for sure, I would say. And I mean, if you look at how consistent he was, I mean, there's a reason why he was a dark horse Heisman contender going into 2019. That did happen. I mean, that was a while ago, but I mean, he's a quarterback that has shown his potential in the past. And so for K-State, for him getting a brand new start, I feel like this is going to be really a good thing for him going to a new football team. I mean, he's been around Nebraska for long enough, and I mean, he's also dealt with injuries. Don't forget about that. I mean, last season, he was pretty significant. He had a broken jaw. He had a shoulder injury that took him out of the last game of the season. I mean, he really fought through a lot last season, and a lot that I think a lot of people don't realize. So, I mean, Adrian Martinez, he's dealt with some injuries for sure, and some significant ones down the stretch, definitely, especially in 2019 and 2021. I mean, 2020, he was healthy for the most part. He just didn't play very much because McCaffrey seemed to show some potential, but turns out McCaffrey really wasn't anything. So Adrian Martinez, though, I mean, once again, I think him going to K-State and getting a new start, this is going to be awesome for the Wildcats, and I think it's going to be great for him as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. I definitely have some optimism about him going to K-State, and I feel like the Wildcats, they've got a good one in Adrian Martinez. He definitely, he's shown his potential, but it's just a matter of whether or not he can get up to that point once again, or even exceed that mark. But that being said, that's going to wrap it up for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, especially if you're a K-State fan. And with Adrian Martinez coming in, obviously I'm sure there's mixed emotions about it, but mostly it's got to be good. I mean, he's once again shown his talent. But I appreciate you guys all watching as always. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. Catch you on the next one.